Hello y'all, this is Make America Again, a Hoi 4 mod set in 2021 that takes place in a world where Trump refused to concede the US presidency, and because of that, Joe Biden established a rival government. And so now we have a divided United States, literally like there is more than one country claiming to be the actual USA. We're going to play as Molossia, a sovereign state that started out as a mere micronation. Everything changed when the Civil War broke out, though, as a vacuum of authority was created in parts of the land between Utah and the People's Republic, and this exactly is where Molossia is located. To survive, a council of free towns was made between the different settlements in the area, and Kevin Baugh, the president of Molossia, became the leader of the coalition and turned the micronation into a true functioning country with its own economy and military. We begin with 5 national spirits, the first one I'll call the illegitimate state, and after that we have refugee crisis, Hawthorne Army Depot, no recognition, and being vaccinated. The country is led by Kevin Baugh and the Council of Free Cities, who in this mod identify ideology-wise as libertarian right. Baugh in real life is known as the creator of Molossia, as it is his idea. Besides that, he also served in the US military, and as of recording, I believe he currently works with the Nevada National Guard. He alleges that East Germany is responsible for him getting sleep deprivation while on duty for the US Army, and because of that, Molossia is hostile toward them. And also, he argues that an island gifted to East Germany by Cuba is still technically East German land, so the war is allowed to take place for this reason. As for Molossia itself, it has its roots in a 1970s project by Baugh, but it would be officially established as a kingdom in 1998. Then there was a communist government, and then eventually Baugh seems to have settled on keeping Molossia as a republic, which is what it has been referred to as of now for over 20 years. We got 2 divisions and 3 commanders. One of these commanders is General Doug Walker of Nostalgia Critic fame. Time to take a look at our military tech. Well, you're already looking at it, as all we have is basic weapons, which I suppose is better than nothing. Molossia has primarily 3 neighbors in the region it's in. These nations are the People's Republic of America, Area 51, and Utah. The last one is a member of Trump's faction, so keep that in mind for later. You may be wondering what Donald Trump is doing in this timeline. Well, he has an eye patch and he is fighting Mike Pence, who has grown a long beard. The first couple of things we are researching is mass assault and support weapons. The reason for why we are doing this will become clear very soon. Let's start off the focus tree by completing Birth of a Micronation, the road ahead, and then after that we will go down to the right and do an imperial presidency. Good Friday. Kevin Baugh wasn't really prepared for the situation he was put in, and was even baffled by the meeting that took place, which resulted in him being handed real power. But then the war happened, and on top of that, refugees began arriving in the country. There were defectors from the world over, and they were welcomed with open arms. After that, Molossia started gaining more legitimacy and grew as neighboring cities joined it. Change was coming to the Republic, and Baugh only hoped that he could meet it with a steady hand. A war has started not too far away from us, relatively speaking, between the American Reich and the Native American nations of the Navajo and the Tohono. After looking at the decision tab, I realized Molossia has a lot it can do. This ranges from addressing the internal situation and the refugee situation to using the Hawthorne Army Depot to get more equipment for our army. On top of what I just said, there is also decisions about the American arms race and mercenaries, as well as a section entirely dedicated to fixing our legitimacy problem. Our opening moves are to send an ambassador to Texas, and then after that, we will use refugee labor to create local farming initiatives. In the focus tree, we're going to do Baugh takes center stage, the president's speeches, backroom dealing, the issues at hand, securing a food supply, stamp out crime, housing refugees, and last but not least, we will do foundations of government. Texas agrees to recognize Molossia. Good, we are moving up in the world. Ted Kaczynski has got out of the long-abandoned USP Florence Supermax and has become the leader of a country in the Rockies. Utah has left Trump's faction as the Church of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormons, have taken over the country. Primitivia, the Anarcho-Primitivist state, has declared war on the Holy Republic of Deseret for some reason that is unknown to us. The Mormon War has started, and since the combatants are very close to us in terms of geography, there is a good chance we may possibly be dragged into the conflict in some way. Joe Biden goes to the G7 summit in Cornwall, England. Because of this event, we lose 10 political power. In London, the Parliament has decided to restore the Ministry for Colonies. Meanwhile, Biden storms out of the G7 summit and we get back the 10 political power we just lost. We're going to intervene in the Mormon War by siding with Primitivia and their Freedom Coalition faction. Our main goal here is to try to restore democracy in Nevada and maybe even Utah. Molossia has officially declared war, and an empty middle Nevada is right in front of us waiting to be taken, but actually advancing forward and capturing it could prove to be a mistake, as we would only have 2 divisions able to defend it. The city of Las Vegas has decided to intervene in the Mormon War too by attacking Deseret and by joining the Freedom Coalition like us. News arrives from up north saying that Montana has decided to proclaim independence from the United States. I have decided it would be best for us to stay on the defensive for now, as expanding the size of the front could only end in disaster due to the size of our army. Checking out the current status of the war, we can see that the numbers are nearly even, but one major disadvantage the Freedom Coalition has is that its members are all spread out, which makes them all essentially isolated from one another. We are holding back the Mormons and the 3 divisions they sent to attack us with the power of Doug Walker. Ideally, the plan is to stay alive as long as possible and hope that our allies are competent. News from far away: the president of Haiti has been assassinated. We still want to gain more recognition even though we are at war, and so to accomplish that, we will send ambassadors to Ancapistan and the American Free State. A widespread war has broken out in the Caribbean. The different players involved are the Dominican Republic, Haiti, the Haitian Empire, Revolutionary Cuba, some kind of caliphate based out of Guantanamo Bay, and last but not least, we can't forget them, it's Cuba, just basic Cuba. The refugee farming initiatives we started a while back have worked out in our favor, and because of that, we will gain political power and a boost in stability. Looking down to the south, our Las Vegas ally doesn't appear to be doing too well, as they are outnumbered by Deseret forces. While one ally is not doing the best, our other one, Primitivia, seems to be making some progress, which is good news for us. To keep our military at full strength, we are going to constantly get weapons from the Hawthorne Army Depot and encourage gun owners to enlist. The issue of crime, we're going to ask Hawthorne to help us out with that, mainly because doing so will increase our country's stability by 10%. We got a little bold and took Tonopah, though we don't plan to keep it, as the idea was to take it and then hope Deseret would send some troops up from Las Vegas to recapture it, and in the process, take some pressure off of our southern ally. We are going to finish up the Molossia focus tree by starting and completing Sunrise over Molossia. Las Vegas has capitulated, and that is very, very bad for the remaining members of the Freedom Coalition, which, if I need to remind you, includes us. We have made a 3rd division, and we're going to use it to go into defensive overdrive, because it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. We're going to use a decision to fortify the Utah border, and unsurprisingly, we are going to keep obtaining more and more depot guns. Another division has been deployed. To the front lines it shall go. The Fourth Reich, aka the America Reich, has declared war on Deseret, which is wonderful when you consider the situation we are in. Enemy soldiers have started departing from our border to go face a new threat. We have used this as an opportunity to seize Middle Nevada for Molossia once and for all. Our Amprim comrades in the east have started pushing forward, and sooner or later they may reach Salt Lake City. We are having a little bit of a manpower crisis currently, and to fix that, we are going to change our conscription law to limited conscription. A hostile division has been encircled, and apparently the enemy capital is now Eureka, so we're going to go and capture that. The Freedom Coalition has won, but unfortunately we didn't get any land. But don't worry, all is not lost. You see, the liberated territory of America / Kaczynski land has a focus called the Treaty of Salt Lake City, and if they do it, Molossia will actually grow in terms of territory. While we wait for our ally to decide if they want to do the treaty or not, we will just complete decisions and watch wars around the North American continent take place, such as in Kazakhstan versus Detroit. Kaczynski is doing it. We are so close. We just gotta have the America Reich agree to the terms, and then we are set. The treaty has taken place. The former territory of Deseret has been carved up. We got Middle Nevada, and Las Vegas got a whole lot of new land. That was Molossia, not exactly a world conquest run, but if you remember that this was a country literally started by one man, it's just as much of a achievement if you look at how far it has come from that. The video is going to end here. If you enjoyed the mod, check it out in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.